Your rent is paid. Your bills are covered. There's money left over at the end of the month. And yet, somewhere around midnight, your chest tightens anyway. You check your bank balance for the third time that day, even though nothing has changed since the first two. If this feels familiar, you're not imagining things, and you're definitely not alone. Here's something that might be hard to hear at first. Financial anxiety and financial reality are two completely different systems. They run on separate tracks inside you, and sometimes they barely speak to each other at all. One tracks your actual numbers. The other tracks something much older, much less logical, and far more powerful than any spreadsheet could ever be. Let's start with a simple question. If your numbers are genuinely fine, where is the panic actually coming from? The honest answer is usually not your bank account. It's your nervous system.
Your brain didn't evolve to calculate compound interest or read a monthly statement. It evolved to keep you alive in a world where resources were scarce and unpredictable. For most of human history, not enough wasn't a hypothetical. It was a regular physical threat. A bad harvest meant real hunger. An empty storehouse meant real danger. Your brain built an alarm system around exactly that threat, and that alarm system is still fully installed, running quietly in the background of your modern life, whether you need it or not. This is the part almost nobody explains clearly. That ancient alarm system doesn't check your actual bank balance before it goes off. It doesn't know the difference between an empty account and a healthy one sitting untouched for a week. It simply reacts to uncertainty, unpredictability, or any signal that resembles scarcity, even when the underlying reality is completely safe. Think about the last time you felt a spike of money anxiety. What actually triggered it? Often, it isn't the number itself. It's something smaller and stranger. An unexpected email from your bank, a friend mentioning a big purchase, a slightly larger bill than usual. None of these things are inherently dangerous, but to an alarm system built for genuine scarcity, any unexpected signal can register as a threat, regardless of whether your actual finances can easily absorb it.
This explains something confusing that a lot of people experience but rarely talk about. Two people can have identical bank balances and feel completely different levels of anxiety about money. One feels calm and secure. The other feels like they're constantly one step from disaster. The difference usually isn't the number in the account. It's how each person's nervous system learned to interpret uncertainty long before either of them ever had a bank account of their own. If you grew up in a household where money was tight or unpredictable or a source of frequent conflict, your nervous system likely learned an important lesson early on. Financial safety can disappear quickly, without warning. That lesson made complete sense at the time. It was protective. It kept you alert to real risk in an environment where risk was real. But nervous systems are slow to update. Long after the environment changes, the alarm often keeps running exactly the way it was originally trained to. This is why financial anxiety can feel so disconnected from financial fact. You can have savings. You can have stable income. You can have every reasonable indicator of security. And still, some part of you keeps scanning for danger because that part of you was trained in a completely different environment than the one you're living in now. Here's a question worth sitting with honestly. When you feel that spike of money panic, are you actually reacting to your current numbers, or are you reacting to a memory? Not a conscious memory necessarily. Often it's something your body remembers, even when your mind has moved on. A tightness in the chest that showed up during a childhood argument about bills. A sinking feeling that first appeared watching a parent stare at an unpaid notice. Your body kept that reaction stored, ready to fire again the moment something even loosely resembles the original threat. This doesn't mean the anxiety is fake, or that you should simply think your way out of it. Telling someone in the middle of a panic response to just calm down rarely works, for the same reason telling someone to stop sweating rarely works. The nervous system doesn't respond well to logic delivered in the middle of an alarm. It responds to safety signals, delivered patiently
over time. So what actually helps here, if logic alone isn't enough? The first step is simply naming what's happening. When the panic arrives, instead of asking, "What's wrong with my finances?" try asking, "Is this actually about my current numbers, or is this an old alarm going off?" This single question does something important. It doesn't eliminate the feeling immediately, but it creates a small gap between the sensation and the story you automatically attach to it. And in that gap, something changes. You start responding to the moment you're actually in, instead of a moment your nervous system is quietly reliving.
There's a second layer worth understanding here, too. Checking your bank balance repeatedly during a spike of anxiety often feels like it should help. It doesn't, at least not for long. This behavior is what's sometimes called reassurance seeking, and it works exactly like scratching an itch. It provides a brief moment of relief, followed by the urge to check again almost immediately. Each check confirms nothing new, but each check also reinforces the belief that checking is necessary, which quietly strengthens the anxiety cycle rather than calming it. A more useful practice, though a harder one, is building what you might call an evidence file. Not a single reassuring glance at your balance, but an actual written record you can return to during moments of panic. 3 months of consistent bills paid on time, a savings account that has only grown, not shrunk, an emergency fund that has stayed untouched through several stressful months already. This isn't about ignoring your numbers. It's about giving your nervous system real, repeated evidence that contradicts the old alarm, delivered slowly enough that it can actually be absorbed. There's one more piece worth naming, because it's easy to miss. Financial anxiety often isn't really about money at all. It's about control. Money is one of the few areas in life that feels quantifiable, trackable, checkable in real time. When life feels chaotic or uncertain in other areas, relationships, health, work, it's common for that general unease to funnel itself into the one area that offers a number you can check. Your bank balance becomes a stand-in for a much broader question. Am I safe? Am I going to be okay? That question rarely has anything to do with the actual digits on the screen.
This is worth sitting with the next time anxiety spikes, and your numbers genuinely don't justify it. Ask yourself honestly, what else might be unsettled right now? A stressful week at work, an unresolved conversation with someone close to you, a general sense that too much feels out of your hands. Sometimes the money check isn't really about the money. It's the only place that anxiety knows how to land. None of this means financial anxiety should be ignored or dismissed. Sometimes the alarm is accurate. Sometimes your numbers really do need attention, and that discomfort is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. The goal isn't to silence every financial feeling permanently. The goal is learning to tell the difference between a real signal and an old echo, so you can respond to your actual situation instead of a threat that stopped being real a long time ago. Your rent is paid. Your bills are covered. There's money left over at the end of the month. The numbers were never the problem. Learning to trust them might be the real work all along.